Put them both up there in the pantheon of all-time programs. Dominant teams, legendary players, and great performances highlight the histories of both schools. But the Sooners and Hurricanes 2009 are about what's next, not nostalgia, including the very real possibility of a national title this year. They've each suffered a loss, but no loss of confidence. Run the table from here, and who knows how far they can go. For the Oklahoma Sooners and the Miami Hurricanes, the good old days are right now. They meet in prime time tonight on Saturday Night Football. You are looking live at Land Shark Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, where two legendary teams clash on Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Oklahoma invades Miami, where the Sooners will renew one of the fiercest rivalries of the 80s as the Canes fight to prove they are once again one of the nation's elite. Good evening, welcome everybody. Look who showed up all the way from Boston, my partner Kirk Herbstreit. I'm Brett Musburger, nice to have you along with us. Of course, there's a quarterback story with Oklahoma. Landry Jones again goes. Sam Bradford not playing, not dressed. You talked to Sam down on the field. What's the latest?
Well, he had a great week of practice, but I think as things got closer to the game, I think he just felt it was probably a better decision at this point in the season to hold off. As you said, he will not be dressed. He's going to offer encouragement to his team, but it's up to Landry Jones tonight. The redshirt freshman threw 6 touchdown passes last week. He has confidence, actually a similar demeanor, but how will he perform on the road against this very, very athletic defense from Miami?
There'll be a little bit different scene in here tonight. On the other side, Ja'Cory Harris, young, and you've been very impressed with what you've seen.
I really have. You know, last week against Virginia Tech, things didn't go well for Ja'Cory or the entire offense, but I think they're anxious to get back out on the field. They need to protect him. They're going up against one of the best defensive lines in all of college football. So balance, running the football, play action pass. If Ja'Cory Harris can find a rhythm, Miami can put points up on the board against anybody.
Yeah, if he thought it was tough against the Hokies.
Get ready.
Wait till he sees this defensive front. And as we go down to our colleague Lisa Salters, note that we do not have the skinned infield here tonight. Lisa, it looks beautiful down there.
That's right, Brent. The entire field was resodded this week. Not just the baseball diamond part that was left over from the Florida Marlins, but the entire field. The old grass was taken out on Tuesday. The new sod laid down on Wednesday and Thursday. This is custom-grown stuff, grown in Alabama at the Bent Oaks Turf Farm. It's a sand-based sod, which is better for drainage, good because of all the heavy rain they get here in South Florida. No rain expected tonight, though, which is, of course, good for me. Brent, this is the first time that this field will have been played on, but it will be resodded right before they play Super Bowl 44 here on February 7th. Brent.
And Lisa, just as soon as we finish tonight, that U will be cut out of the center of the field and replaced by the Miami Dolphins logo. Tomorrow afternoon, they have a game here against the Buffalo Bills. Well, Miami won the toss, and they will receive, electing to handle the football right away. As you see, and Herbie, great resume on both sides here.
Well, you think about the mid-'80s and into the '90s, Oklahoma and Miami, so many great championship caliber teams. It's always exciting to see Miami with their history and tradition going up against the Oklahoma Sooners.
Coach Bob Stoops anxiously prowling that sideline as we get ready to go here. His team will be on defense against Randy Shannon's offense. Cooper. Hole in the middle to the 29-yard line, and that's where we will see Ja'Cory Harris here at the start of this game.
Now the big sophomore, 6'4", 190 pounds. Of course, last week the Canes offense struggled. I found it interesting. They won the toss, and they want to get the football back to their offense, and they want to try to establish a rhythm. The most important thing is balance within this offense tonight, slowing down a very dominant Oklahoma defensive front.
Mike James is the offset fullback, and that is Javaris James behind him in the tailback spot. The James gang, and Tavares to the 35-yard line, and Herbie, our impact player.
You just saw one of them, Javaris James. He's been around for a long time, and he and Craig Cooper give them a great 1-2 punch in the backfield. Keep an eye on Cooper tonight, not only running the football. Miami likes to try to isolate the linebackers and throw the ball to number 2, and then Travis Benjamin leads a host of very talented wide receivers for this Miami Y offense that Ja'Cory Harris will be looking to get the football to.
Second and 5, and they put it back in James' hands in the stout middle of that Oklahoma defensive line. Reynolds, the middle linebacker, helping out to end that play. This will be a tough front seven to run against here tonight.
These linebackers are already attacking downhill, which tells you the importance of what we talked about, play action, trying to do anything you can to slow down Travis Lewis and Brian Reynolds and Keenan Clayton, the entire linebacker crew there. They're very, very aggressive.
First down. Ja'Cory Harris completes his first pass of the night, and it took 4 Oklahoma defenders to bring Johnson down.
He gets back and he gets rid of the football. You can see how quickly Oklahoma's closing in on him. Dedrick Epps, the tight end, went to the flat and pulled the defenders with him, making it a pretty easy throw. But that's an important first down in this game, Brent, because after the way last week got started against Virginia Tech, they needed to establish something early here, and then they're going to tack on 15 yards on the back end after the conversion.
That's unnecessary roughness on him on top of it, as it took a gang to bring him down. Stoops has a Big 12 officiating crew here tonight. So Tavares Johnson lined up as an H-back, one of their fullbacks, and slipped out into his pass route and made that catch. And with the penalty now, the Canes are inside the Sooners' 40-yard line. Ja'Cory off a play action, going deep, intercepted, picked off at the 5-yard line by Franks. Franks out to the 17-yard line, and a pretty easy pick when you take a look at this throw.
There's a miscommunication here early. We saw some of this last week when they were on the road against Virginia Tech. Leonard Hankerson cut his route off early. He's in motion. He's going to be to the top of the screen. See how he breaks down there? And also you have the tight end trying to get out to the flat. I could see Ja'Cory, as soon as he threw it, looking over in the direction of both Hankerson on one side and LaRon Bird on the other. That's just a breakdown between the receivers and the quarterback, and a costly mistake here early.
Landry Jones, first possession for the Sooners. Redshirt freshman center. There's that little draw action handoff to Brown, and Brown crosses the 20-yard line. Sharpton makes the stop here, and so here is Landry Jones, the young man with his 3rd start, 6 touchdowns a week ago, as Herbie told you, against Tulsa. Heavily recruited out of the state of New Mexico. He's going to throw for the first time, stepping left and wide open, complete. And into Hurricane territory, Ryan Broyles. That young man, number 85, has become Landry Jones' favorite target. And you're going to see a good arm here.
Brent, I love that here's Landry Jones, a big question mark. How's he going to respond? What a great read. He goes backside to his favorite target, Ryan Broyles. And they're already at the line of scrimmage again. When it's Oklahoma, it's high octane. Get up to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball, no matter who the quarterback is. That's what you're going to get from Kevin Wilson's offense.
37 yards. DeMarco Murray checks in as the tailback. He's got great dash. Here he is trying to step to the outside, and the Canes were ready. Over on the sideline, meanwhile, last year's Heisman Trophy winner, Sam Bradford. And when you look at the Oklahoma schedule, next week at home against Baylor, you have to think there's a chance, because in 2 weeks, of course, It's the Red River Showdown in Dallas, Texas and Oklahoma. Second down and 9. Rolling to the right now. Landry is throwing on the move. Incomplete. Threw it out of bounds. Receiver was down. Appeared to be close to being out of bounds anyway. So now it'll be 3rd and 9.
You and I always kid about we have to adjust our own tempo when you call an Oklahoma game because of how quickly they get up to the line of scrimmage. Well, Miami's been prepping to face this up-tempo offense all week, but it's one thing to prep for it. How quickly do you adjust to it in the game? Brent, they moved DeMarco Murray right here. Somebody they want to try to get the football to, even as a wide receiver.
Far side, complete. Caleb got the first down with a terrific second effort. Brandon Caleb appeared to get the first down.
What an effort, Brent, as you said. And this is nice to see for Oklahoma. With Ryan Broyles carrying most of the load, with Jermaine Gresham down, they need Caleb to keep getting better and better. And last week, of course, 5 catches, 104 yards, and a couple scores against Tulsa.
Here's Brown. Brown battling toward that first down mark. And let's check in down below with Lisa.
Well, Brent, I just wanted to give you an update on Sam Bradford. I was talking to him during warm-ups. He said the shoulder felt good early in the week during practice, but felt sore later in the week. He said there was no swelling, but I asked him how much does his NFL future figure into when he plays. He says, you know, it's a huge part. Quote, I don't want to rush it. I have a lot to think about.
So Brown rips down close to the 15-yard line. And of course, you have to know that one of the factors that goes into Bob Stoops and the entire coaching staff's decision on when to put Sam back in uniform on the field is exactly that, the young man's future. No matter how badly they may want to win this or the game against Texas, they will make a determination later. On the move right, end zone. That's a touchdown. OU, Cameron Kinney, the junior, makes the grab of the end zone, and Sam Bradford's replacement has lit up the Hurricane defense on their first series.
Well, Landry Jones on the entire drive, Brent, 3 for 4 for 62 yards, in complete command of that up-tempo offense, and an outstanding throw to Kinney in the corner of the end zone. Wow, that was textbook and how to open a drive on the road.
Who would have seen Kenny coming as the first to score here tonight? Tacking on the extra point is Jimmy Stevens. Oklahoma strikes first. Well, the folks around the Oklahoma program have told me that Sam Bradford has stayed deeply involved, despite the fact that he has not played the last 3 games, that he's shown great leadership qualities. And there's the young man, 6 touchdowns a week ago, and now he's thrown for 1 already here. And this will be the second time that OU has kicked it away. Cooper coming up to the 10-yard line. Battling his way to the 29. It was an interception that set up that scoring drive for the Sooners. Remember, the Canes were moving the ball pretty well. And on first down, Ja'Cory Harris puts it in Travis Benjamin's hands, the freshman from Belle Glade, for the first time here tonight. And he's got some quicks.
So you lose 31-7 last week when everybody's telling you how wonderful you are. You come out here in this first drive, you throw an interception, you're down 7. It's a big drive for Ja'Cory Harris to be able to just get his team to settle down and get back to being who they are. And that's an offense that definitely has the ability to move the football here, but they've got to get their confidence back up. Quick throws.
Running behind the left side. And the Sooners gang up on James. Travis Lewis, just an outstanding linebacker, in on that stop.
Brent, we've seen some great defenses already, you and I, when we've been out. Alabama really sticks out in week 1. Virginia Tech in that same game. I think after we see 4 quarters of this defense, no matter what Miami's able to do, I think athletically and the experience, this defense doesn't take a back seat to anybody in the country.
3rd and 1. Big hole for James. Crosses midfield. And He's out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That's Carter, one of the Sooner safeties there.
Nice little counter coming back here, design drawback, and it created enough doubt in middle linebacker Ryan Reynolds' mind where he moved off to his left. And once he moved off to his left, it made it pretty easy for a nice block that time by Orlando Franklin to seal him to the inside. And Javaris James has enough power to be able to burst through that initial line of scrimmage there from Oklahoma's defensive front.
Offensive coordinator Mark Whipple calling the plays from the sideline. Canes moving again. Harris on a deep drop going down the middle. Benjamin, and it is picked off again. This one intercepted by the other corner, Jackson. So Franks picks off the first one and Jackson the second one.
And this is Brian Jackson sitting back as a safety, usually a corner. He's almost baiting and waiting for Corey Harris to throw that football. This defense moves too fast to float the ball up in the air like that.
OU's ball again. Timeout. So quickly, the Sooners will start 99 yards away. Brown breaks a tackle. 20-yard line in a foot race on first down. Telemac finally gets the running back down, but what a way to bail yourself out of a field position jam. A 48-yard run.
What a block right there by the fullback, and then just a missed tackle by the safety, and there's nobody left but Matt Clapp, the fullback, leading the way through that hole, opened things up for Chris Brown.
Play fake again. Had to drop it off quickly to Murray, who was working that far sideline because of the pressure that time from Regas.
Let's not forget that so much attention is being put on Landry Jones, but Bob Stoops and Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator, said this week, we have confidence in Landry and what he can do. We're anxious to see how the offensive line will play, the tight ends, the young receivers. How will the players around him play to give him a chance to execute?
Second and 10, and it's Murray to the 33-yard line.
People that are not
final minute and fear the stash, folks, because that's Landry Jones who has.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Here he goes.
It's not easy drinking that land shark when you got a stash like that.
First quarter, you got that.
It's not a bad logger. Third down and 8. From the gun, sets the screen, short of the first down. Caleb.
Sean Spence all over that football play and almost blew it up before Caleb was able to fight through there and pick up a few yards.
Field goal time. Stoops was thinking about it on 4th and 2, but instead he'll use Stevens with seconds running down here in the first quarter. They'll kick it the other way. So they'll turn them around. If you're Oklahoma, you're very pleased with the start. If you're Miami, you've got to think it could have been a lot worse. And they'll gladly settle for a field goal on this drive. And this presentation of Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Jimmy Stevens set to kick the field goal with Carter Whitson to hold here. And Irby and I discussed the possibility of a fake, but after a timeout, you would think the Canes would be watching. No, they're going to go to it anyway. They were ready. They stopped it. They stopped it at 4th and 2. It would be just like Bob Stoops to go for it here. And they did. Telemac was ready. The problem with calling that fake after a timeout is you give the defense a lot of time to run down the options.
Well, that's the last thing Randy Shannon, his coaches, told him. They know Bob Stoops. You and I were talking about it at the break. It's going to be obviously very close. But this is Bob Stoops. He's on the road. He's got a lead. His defense is playing well. He coaches to win. Whether this works out or not, he always is aggressive with his decision making.
How close is that for a first down? First and 15, nothing doing that time. Well, you mentioned Grisham, and probably not enough has been made about the fact that Stoops has had to carry on without the best tight end in all of football. There you see the young man and rehabbing that knee injury. And I think as much as anything else, that really hurt them against BYU. When you go back and study that game a little bit, even with Landry quarterbacking in the second half, he did not have that target in the middle of the field. The tight end now actually was playing center that day, and here Landry whips one to the outside to Kenny, and there's another penalty flag down.
I think they're going to get a face mask on Sam Shields, who's had a rough go of it so far in this game.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 9. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run, automatic. First down.
Shields a couple times isolated one-on-one has given up some big plays through the air by trying to get physical and jam. This time gets beat on the play. It would have set up a big third down if he just makes the tackle there.
Ball is spotted at the 11 for the Sooners, who lead it by 7. To the 8.
Miami doing everything they can when the opportunity presents itself to rotate bodies in, just trying to stay fresh against this tempo. That's the thing that happens to you when you face Oklahoma. You get tired, especially up front on the defensive line.
Comes the blitz. Landry stands tall, incomplete. A little bit high for Kenny.
Kenny broke free again from Sam Shields. I think what's happened is the young quarterback, Landry Jones, is either getting told to attack 9 in orange, or he's starting to feel that, because Sam Shields, as good as he's been for Miami this year, tonight he's been giving up some openings to Kenny and the rest of the Oklahoma receivers.
4 rush this time. Fire in underneath, short of the first down. This time Stoops probably won't fake it. Remember that drive began at the 1, and there was that 48-yard run by Chris Brown late in the first quarter. Fake field goal, then kept the drive alive, and Stevens trots back out.
Anytime you get pinned inside your 1-yard line and you're able to try to come away with an opportunity to get points, that's always a win.
21-yarder. And Oklahoma builds a 10-point lead. Crowd of about 60,000 tonight here in Miami. Here's the kickoff, and the Canes will try it again. Coming out for the 1-yard line is Cooper. Penalty flag. Another penalty flag. There's enough yellow to bring this back and then some.
Illegal bunt during the return, number 36. 10-yard penalty, first out.
Ball is spotted inside the 10. James, the running back, slips a couple of tackles, battles his way to the 15-yard line, and fires for the first down, and a wide open Johnson. And there is his favorite target from Northwestern High School. There are 7 players on this roster who were recruited by Randy Shannon from the same high school here in Miami. And Kirk, as you know, Northwestern is a powerhouse down here.
You talked about St. Thomas Aquinas in their game last night, but Northwestern High School, one of the best not only in South Florida, but could compete with anybody nationally on an annual basis. 7-1 class goes to Miami. It's a pretty good high school football team.
Indeed. Well, he's found a soft corner over there, and he goes right back to Johnson.
There's the relationship you've talked about, Brent, playing in high school together, knowing each other very well. Anticipation. He throws his football before Johnson's even out of his break. The soft cushion makes it a little easier, but right there, as soon as he turned, the football is right on the money. And all of a sudden, if you're Oklahoma, you got to think, you know what, let's maybe take away that soft cushion. It's making it too easy for Harris, especially towards that boundary.
Johnson looks like he's styling a little bit like a King receiver, too. Come back with James, big hole in the middle, and a foot race cross midfield. Carter with the angle, able to get him out of bounds, but now the crowd has something to be excited about. The Canes are stocking their first score of the night here.
What a great double team in the middle, right into the middle. The center, number 70, trumped the right guard, Gunn. They did a good job against that athletic Oklahoma defensive line and just pushing them. And then the vision from Javaris James to cut this back right to where the opening was, and then it became a foot race.
That's a 50-yard gain by James. Cooper will give James a break. He checks in as the running back. Collier lines up as the offset fullback. Ja'Cory has it deflected on the ground, dives back for the loose football, was knocked out of his hand. Winded for second down.
They caught a break. The pressure, the zone pressure. They brought Keenan Clayton. You'll see him come from the bottom. They also brought Ryan Reynolds, and they dropped a couple defensive linemen. It confused Miami up front, able to get to Ja'Cory Harris, and at that point, it's a dog pile trying to come up with that football.
Jason Fox pouncing on it there with Ja'Cory right there with him.
Last guy in for Miami somehow comes up with a football. Get
Cooper out of the backfield. Fires. And the catch by the tight end, Jimmy Graham, and what a story. The basketball player who dropped two big ones on one drive in the second half when it appeared as though the Canes might be coming back. Ja'Cory Harris goes to him for the score. Miami was 6 points, and you got to be so happy for that young man right there. Here's Bosher. Game on. So the Canes make it a 3-point game. Bouncing back with a little style. Well, there's where the old Orange Bowl stood. All those great years of great games. Now an overpass being built down there. Many, many memories for a lot of folks here in South Florida and around the country. From Doug Flutie to Kellen Winslow. Joe Namath. It could go on and on. Sooners figured to get a return this time. From the 13-yard line is Franks. What a difference that 5-yard penalty made. Now they come to the tight end, and that is Brody Eldridge with his first reception of the night. He is a very, very good blocker. Started the season against BYU as the Oklahoma center, and then with Gresham out because of the injury, they moved Eldridge back out to tight end. Second down and 1 inside of 2 minutes left here for OU. They've still got their timeouts, all 3 of them remaining. Murray picked up the first down. They'll spot the ball, and the chains will move. Clock stops momentarily. 1:44 to go here. Big for both these teams right now at the end of the first half.
Minute 44 with 3 timeouts, and this kind of offense, time at this point is not an issue for Landry Jones. Plenty of time to work with.
Stepping out to the left and firing complete. Getting a first down is Tunnell.
Once he got to the outside and broke contain, he had plenty of time to make a decision on where he wanted to go with the football. Adrian Tunnell that time fighting for yards.
Draw up with Murray again, and the Canes were ready for that play.
Play took some time to develop, and with the speed up front from Miami, they're getting off their blocks much quicker as this game progresses. And again, they're trying, as I said, trying to rotate those bodies best they can, and Regis came right down in a hurry and took Murray out of the picture.
Final 30 seconds. 3rd and 13 here at the end of the first half. They will not get the first down. Caleb is surrounded.
Miami that time just sat back, keeping the play in front of them. Great job by Miami's defense.
Landry back, 4th and 8. Has plenty of time. Can't find anybody open. And he's in a foot race. Shakes free. Still battling to throw it out of bounds.
Best thing he did there on 4th down is chew up 11 seconds of the clock and then finally just throw it away.
Let's go to Lisa with Coach Randy Shannon.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, Ja'Cory Harris had 2 picks in your first 2 possessions. What was giving him problems early on?
Well, he just took some shots. You know, he's trying to make a big play instead of reading the coverages. But I think he settled down. We got our run game going. So, you know, the guys are really banging up front with the offensive line. So if we're keeping our running game going, then they'll get Ja'Cory a better shot to get some opportunities.
And what changed for him on that touchdown drive?
Well, basically settled down. Like I said, if we get our run game going, we're going to be okay, and that'll settle him down.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Trailing only by 3. And right now, let's send it to the Times Square studio to John Saunders and Jesse Palmer for the Bud Light halftime report. We welcome you back to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Good one from South Florida. 3-point lead, Oklahoma over Miami. Remember, Miami won the toss, and they elected to receive. So the Sooners will have the first possession of the second half. Uribe with the ball on the tee for the Hurricanes to kick it off here. Madu and Franks back, and Coach Randy Shannon. It's DeMarco Murray. Madu handled the ball 3 consecutive times in the first half, seeing his first action of the night. That came late in the second quarter. Here comes Madu from the goal line. Oh, brought down at the 15-yard line as the Kings open up strong here in the second half after the intermission. You know, things like that can give you a lift now.
Oh, there's no doubt. Watching the team's energy as they came out of the second half, Miami's feeling really good about themselves. And I want to see if Oklahoma, we'll have to check with Lisa on Ryan Broyles to find out if he's going to come back in the second half. But they need playmakers around Landry Jones right now to step up, mainly Chris Brown and DeMarco Murray, 2 proven commodities for this Oklahoma offense.
I do not see 85 in this offensive set to open up the second half, and DeMarco Murray will get the first carry. And let us check in down below with Lisa.
Well, Brennan, injury update on Ryan Broyles. Bob Stoops told me that it was a shoulder injury. He wouldn't tell me which shoulder, but we saw Ryan Broyles come out of the locker room a short while ago with his left arm in a sling. He spent about a half an hour in the x-ray room, but again, Stoops would not tell me the extent of the shoulder injury.
Fumble. Canes go for the loose ball. They've recovered it around the Sooners' 10-yard line. Brandon Harris popping off of that pile.
How about Brandon Harris coming off the edge here to speed, and it's not picked up by Oklahoma. The tight end there, Eldridge, needs to be able to recognize that. Also, it could be a matter of shifting the offensive line to the right. That's exactly what Miami needed to see here. Aggressive defense pays off, and the Canes get the football.
Remember the tackle on the kickoff. It lit the fuse here in South Florida. On first down, Ja'Cory Harris stands tall, end zone touchdown. The scoring strike to Epps. And just like that, Miami takes its first lead of the night. Bosher tacks on the extra point. The hurricane alert is up now for the Sooners. Pull up a chair, folks. 10 o'clock in the east, 8 o'clock out Montana way, 7 o'clock in Oregon. We got a good one here in South Florida. 14-10, the Canes. Remember that last kickoff. Remember what started this fire. Kick coverage by a youngster out of New Jersey. Number 38, Corey Nelms. Downfield to make the tackle. There's Madu back to the 14-yard line. Smacked at the 34-yard line. So Whipple from the National Football League has found a matchup advantage against linebackers. Now Landry Jones firing over the middle for a incompletion.
Let's keep everything in perspective here, Brent. Landry Jones has stepped in for Sam Bradford tonight, doing a pretty good job. Offensive line is held up for the most part. The concern is on the outside. Breaking in new receivers, trying to find the rhythm, trying to find a receiver who can help him here in this second half with Broyles out for the game.
Gresham out for the season. A shorthanded OU offense. Brown, nothing doing. Read perfectly by Manker. Eric Manker makes the stop. The senior from Miami.
Really, really good defense right now by Miami. They're playing with discipline. That time he actually had to fight off a hold by Eldridge and still was able to get to the outside to keep contained.
Again, a four-man rush. Incomplete. Madu the intended target. And a penalty flag comes late.
It's Sean Spence here, looks like.
Defense, number 31, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The only way Oklahoma converts this third down is if they catch a break here, because the pressure is closing in on Landry Jones. It's only a matter when the ball's in the air. I mean, it was a little bit of contact there, but I don't know if it's enough for pass interference.
I think it was, young man. That right arm was saying, come waltz with me, Matilda. You've got to call that one.
Matilda.
First down and 10. Out of the pistol, the handoff to Murray. To the Canes' 40-yard line.
Kevin Wilson telling us this week that with DeMarco Murray getting healthy, it's important to try to get him 15 to 20 touches in a big-time game like this. He's got to welcome this opportunity.
Middle, close to a first down. Telemac, one of the safeties. Remember, the safety Randy Phillips is out with an injury tonight. We've seen number 26, the freshman Ray Armstrong back there, and Jared Campbell. So they're without the veteran Phillips. Canes continue to rush 4. Incomplete. Caleb, the intended target.
Trying to find a seam there between the corner. Van Dyke and his safety, Ray Armstrong. Caleb thought he got interfered with, but this is pretty good coverage. It's 3rd and long. You're just trying to put it up and get it in between. Just hit that seam. No chance. And we've kind of had a little bit of jawing going back and forth, and now we've got a flag coming in here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 29. 15-yard penalty, still 4th down.
That's Chris Brown, the running back.
The biggest concern that Bob Stoops has when we talk about the personnel that he has lost coming into this game is leadership on the offensive side of the ball. That was exposed against BYU in the opening night. When you lose Bradford and you lose Gresham and you lose all those offensive linemen, who's the guy in the huddle that's going to step up? Now they're bringing both teams together here to just try to, hey guys, let's have a good game here. Let's get aggressive, but let's keep our cool.
It's Big 12 referee Adrian Hill. His umpire is Tom Quick, Al Green, Rusty Baines, Bobby Abels, Eugene Hall, Scott Vaughn. That's your officiating crew. Way back in punt formation, standing close to his 20. Left foots it out. Fielded at the 27 by Benjamin. No daylight. Good coverage. The ACC against the Big 12. Timeout. Tonight, it is the Hurricanes with a home game. Tomorrow, the Miami Dolphins. And the sod is down at the Miami Marlins. They've closed out their baseball campaign here. Drops it off on 1st down to Mike James, the fullback. Let's take a look at his chart.
Yeah, we talked at the very first part of this game when he made some poor decisions. He got a little bit aggressive, went downfield. You can see only 2 throws across 15 yards, both interceptions. But since then, the adjustment has been to attack that aggressive underneath part of that Oklahoma defense, where the safeties and the linebackers were really tuned in to attacking the running game, and it's paid off for him. He's only missed 1 pass, and he's also found a rhythm, and I think in the process has slowed Oklahoma's defense down.
2nd down and 3. And Cooper is short. Of course, it was last January when the Coach's Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper was awarded to the Florida Gators right here on this field. Next year it will be awarded out in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl on the night of January 7th. The game we'll have on ABC. Both of these teams, of course, with dreams of getting there. Both have lost once. So a second loss tonight would certainly damage those dreams. James, the running back, on 3rd and 2. Harris drops it in underneath. And they pick up a 1st down with James circling out.
That's where you attack this Oklahoma defense. Remember last year we called the Texas OU game, and Colt McCoy had so much success in that area where the linebackers are so free-willing and aggressive. If you get time to throw, because they're so athletic and they get out of there so quickly, you have to try to be able to put receivers and running backs and tight ends into that void, and you can find some openings.
Brent Venables with his hands full now that Ja'Cory Harris has found that you can move the ball underneath against those linebackers and not try to probe so deep all the time. Here comes Cooper. Battles for a yard. Looks like they had it a couple weeks ago, didn't it? Play fake now by Ja'Cory. Drops it off beautifully that time again to Epps, who scored the last touchdown coming out. What nice touch he demonstrated on this pass.
Play action pass. Ja'Cory Harris very comfortable, and again mixing in the run with the pass, slows the linebackers, gives him time, and there's the same matchup that you talked about with the touchdown. Not only Epps, but getting separation from Keenan Clayton, who was covering him when he scored the touchdown.
Look what I found. Whipple calling the plays and Ja'Cory Harris pulling the trigger.
Those last 13 throws, not huge yards, but good decisions.
Here comes Cooper, hole on that left side, and he was quickly tripped up on it by Beal.
This is Mark Whipple's type of offense, the offense that these players have come to really believe in and have confidence in. And what it does, what Mark Whipple ideally would like to do, is give you so many different looks. You don't know if it's going to be a run or a pass because he's breaking tendencies. And when he has the play action pass going with the running game, it makes it very, very tough on the linebackers and guessing what might be coming next.
Here comes a linebacker blitz. Deflected. Incomplete. So Venables bringing a little more heat that time.
Interesting adjustment, Brent, this time is Austin English starts to come up, and then he drops up to the top of the screen, and now he's got his head on a swivel, and he's waiting for those small underneath passes. See why it's right there as a defensive end? Instead of rushing, they brought a blitz on the other side. He drops, and as soon as he dropped as a defensive end, his head's on a swivel. He's looking for a crossing route, and he looked up to the running back. That's a way you can take that away.
Now the Warriors for the Canes. Gonna strike deep, got a man wide open. Touchdown, Benjamin. His third scoring strike of the night. This one to the wide out. The freshman Travis Benjamin for 38 yards. That was so well set up, Herbie, by that underneath stuff that they were doing. Whipple had him primed for that.
That's exactly what happens, Brent, is you get so caught up in thinking about the underneath and the short throws, you get lulled to sleep a little bit on the deeper throw, and I think it may have been a broken coverage as well.
Bosher tacks on the extra point. We're talking about a real cool customer right here. Benjamin scores, but I think we have located the problem with this piece of tape.
Dominique Franks making some mistakes, and Bob Stoops right now talking to Keenan Clayton. Miscommunication on this Oklahoma defense, costly at a huge point in his football game. First, Bob went to Dominique Franks, the defensive back, who was over top of Benjamin, and then he talked to Keenan Clayton.
Uribe with the kickoff fielded at the 9-yard line. And Madu is short of the 20, and the Canes are some kind of fired up right now. And the handoff, they keep this on the ground on 1st and 10.
If you're an Oklahoma fan watching this game right now, the reason you're uneasy is we've talked about this the entire football game. So much attention about Bradford not being in this game, but it's not about Bradford being in this game. Landry Jones is capable, but who's going to come along to help Landry Jones out? What wide receiver? Which of the offensive linemen? Somebody needs to help this guy out.
Firing for the first down. The gamble defensively is not good, and again Kenny gets it done. He scored the touchdown, and he picks up yards after catch.
Kenny against Sam Shields. It's been a broken record. That's where they've had some success, and I think if I'm the quarterback, you're going to continue to look for that matchup. Anytime Kenny gets against Sam Shields is looking for the big play.
Caleb out of bounds, close to the first down marker. Picked up probably about 9 yards as he stepped out there. 6:03 left in the third. So here's the young man from New Mexico trying to rally the Sooners from behind. They've already lost one game. Brown to the 38, wants a face mask on top of it.
This offense is predicated upon picking up first downs and getting the tempo going. It's the first time in about 4 or 5 possessions that we've seen Oklahoma getting up to the line of scrimmage and getting this Miami defense on its heels.
Might have a case. There's going to be face mask adjustment on the sideline. And Miami was not charged with a timeout in that stoppage. And Murray, because of the Oklahoma substitution before that on the other side. So
whatever the reason for the timeout, it was almost like you're calling a game with Steve Lavin and a team needs to get a 20 just to kind of gather themselves and try to kill a rally. Right now, Oklahoma, this is what they're feeding off of, is this energy.
Back in the pistol. Incomplete. You know, it's interesting when you look at Miami here, Herbie. They have played arguably the toughest schedule in the FBS this year. This is the 4th-ranked team. They were ranked when they played this month. No other team in ACC history has opened against 4 ranked teams. And here they are going toe-to-toe. Beaten by one of them, Virginia Tech, on a rainy, tough day at Lane Stadium last Saturday. Landry Jones. And again, he comes back to Hannah for the 2nd time in this sequence. Another thing, 5:30 in the morning workouts. That'll get your attention.
That'll do it.
John Chaney at Temple. Coach, I don't think I'd be attending any of your practices. He was great.
That's one way to get their attention.
Oh, yes.
Show up when it's dark out.
So Way is back to punt.
Yep, got it.
Inside the 5-yard line, but I believe they ran into the punter. If this is just running in, this was about a 4th and 10. That's personal foul.
The kicker,
That's
defense,
big.
number 91. He hit the kicker's plant leg. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Joe Joseph, and Shannon can't believe it.
Big Joe Joseph comes in and actually gets some pretty good pressure. He splits the wall there. Wow, that's... I don't know, you and I sometimes disagree.
What do you want me to go first?
Well, he falls on the ground and then he, I don't know. To me, that's running into. To me, you have to come down in the air and come through the punter. He landed on the ground first and then skidded into the punter. What do you say? What do you say, friend? What do you got? Look, he's smiling because he did such a good job. He's happy. He's proud of himself. He should be.
I'll let you off the hook. First down, continue. Swinging out of DeMarco Murray. 20. Cross first down. Dives for the end zone. Just out of bounds. Going to be marked, it looks like, at around the almost the 3-yard line.
Look at the blocks here by Hannah, 82. Picks up one big block. Caleb right there picks up a nice block. And that gave DeMarco Murray a little bit of room to run, and he almost takes it into the end zone. But great perimeter blocking that time by the Sooners.
Big Matt Clapp comes in to lead the way for Murray. Murray for the end zone for Oklahoma, touchdown. Well, the big play there.
Huge play.
Roughing the punter. An automatic first down kept them alive, and 2 plays later, DeMarco nails it. Jeffries was shaken up, but he appears to be okay. Stevens tacks on the extra point.
Look at the score at the top of the screen. Still, Miami up 4. It's not the end of the world. You gave up a touchdown. Now you got to show. Act like you've been here before. Keep playing football.
Fielded at the 8-yard line by James. James is spun out of bounds. Play fake. Jacory wants to probe deep on the deflection. Benjamin catches it. Oh, baby. That could have been pick number 3.
He's willing to take chances. I think he might have been throwing it to Epps coming across the middle. It goes over him. How about the focus by Travis Benjamin to lock in and make that catch? When you're the quarterback, of course, he meant that. It's a great throw. Good read. It's eyeing 3 the whole way.
Come back quickly with the other James, and that's Mike James, the fullback, the first time that they have lined him up in the eye and then hit that quick hitter. Time running out here in the 3rd quarter. Got a 4-point game.
Got a war here. It's a good ball game. It's going to be a great 4th quarter.
Hasn't the whole season been good, though?
Oh, my gosh.
who knows what you're going to get. This presentation is Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We welcome you back on a beautiful Saturday night here in South Florida. 4-point game, 21-17. You know, you was thinking about Brett Favre, Herbie, and you got to go back to 1992 when he started that great streak. He hasn't missed an NFL weekend starting as a quarterback since, well, he missed his last one back on September 20th. He started the streak September 27th. So here's your bonus question. Who were the starting quarterbacks at Oklahoma and Miami when Brett Favre started that streak? Ding, 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 ding. Here we go now. Handoff to start the fourth quarter.
You ready?
And that's James across midfield. Go ahead.
1992?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I know Gino Torretta.
You got
obviously.
it. Bingo. OU.
Oh, my gosh.
Dun, 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 dun. First and 10. Now, I told you I had a tougher
Give me a
moment.
play here. Come on now.
All right, you get a play. First down and 10. He's near midfield.
Got it. Got it.
Here's the handoff now to Cooper, who came in as the running back, still battling straight ahead and stop. And here comes Mr. Herbstreit with the answer.
Cale Gundy.
Genius.
Woo!
Genius. There he is.
Yes, sir.
One of the assistant coaches on the OU staff. When Brett Favre started that amazing streak of his, that endurance streak, he was the quarterback. Torretta, of course, at Miami, won the Heisman. Bill Clinton, #1 saw again to the road. And how about Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven? Now, there was a Cowboy, and Mr. Herbstreit was starting the quarterback for the Buckeyes.
Into the road by Boys to Men. You were all over that one.
Yes, indeed. Second down and 7. Keeping it on the ground. The will to run with Cooper. Whipple told us in the meeting yesterday that at some point in this game, they were going to have to run against Oklahoma. The old Dick Vermeil theory. You got to make a commitment.
Big third down here, Brent. You know, the balance has been admirable. Miami, 44 plays, 23 runs, and 21 passes. Remember, they've had some success finding the tight ends, looking underneath, trying to attack the linebackers on some big third downs.
Here comes a blitz. Forrest incomplete. I think he had Benjamin there for a second.
Give Oklahoma some credit there. Dominique Franks bringing his coverage up tight. Sometimes in college football, for whatever reason, on third down, we do games every week, and you see corners who on 3rd and 6 might give an 8 to 10 yard cushion, making an easy throw. This time Franks comes up and eliminates the cushion, is there to knock that ball away.
And he drives Franks back all the way back to the 1 yard line. He's going to try to do something with it. Down the sideline, breaking out toward midfield, and finally out of bounds. That's one of those, if you're going to do it and you're going to get close to the coaches, make it a good one. If you're going to field the punt back on the 2 yard line. Way to go, Stoops just said. Great job. Timeout.
Brent, this breaks every coaching rule in the book. Catches inside the 1 yard line, goes back into the end zone. Then he shows his great athletic ability. But how about the risk, the decision making that time by Franks? It works out. But boy, oh boy, almost disaster for the Sooners.
Saving tackle by Bosher, the punter. Franks gambles. Brings it back 51 yards. Murray. First down, Oklahoma. Close to the 30-yard line, trailing by 4 here inside of 8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
The thing you love about these college games that go into the fourth quarter, coaches are always preaching about finish, and work ethic. It's on the line here.
Murray. struggling. He's certainly finishing right now.
Absolutely. This is what Oklahoma's wanted to see from DeMarco Murray this year. The fact that they know that he's capable of being physical and also explosive. I mean, he has some rare ability, the combination of power and speed. Love to see him take a game over like this.
Again, slipped short of the first down.
Right now, they're just getting behind the left side, which is the strongest part of the offensive line. And following that big fullback, Matt Clapp was picking up a block on a linebacker, and they're getting behind Trent Williams, and they're trying to get their yards on that left side, just getting physical.
Bangs his helmet across for the first down to the 20-yard line.
That's where you say, you know we're going to run left. We know we're going to run left. Can you stop us?
Big Trent Williams over there, the left tackle. Brian Simmons, the left guard for Stoops. He was the right tackle a year ago with that great veteran offensive line. Now they've had to replace 3.
Secondary, be careful of the play action and trying to get behind them.
Chris Brown checks in as the running back. And he is jumped by Robinson.
Well, the right side of Oklahoma's offensive line, they have struggled tonight against Marcus Robinson and the defensive lineman, the speed that they've had to deal with from the Canes. The linebacker Sean Spence getting a lot of penetration off that right side. If you're Oklahoma and you need to be able to get some yards running, you know you need to try to get it on that left side.
Power ride.
Look how many orange jerseys are up at the line of scrimmage. Great time for play action.
Brown. And he's thrown for a loss. McCarthy had a big game last week against Virginia Tech.
They're overloading. Miami's overloading Oklahoma's left side. And Oklahoma's trying to count the numbers and on pre-snap and run to the right. The problem is they're not winning the battles on the right-hand side. Miami's winning that battle.
3rd and 12, tried to hit DeMarco Murray. He slips again and is short. It'll bring up a 4th down. Remember, the Sooners are down by 4. The young defensive backs will have to remember that they ain't kicking any field goal here. Check that. They were right. I was wrong.
You never know.
With 4:32, he's already faked one at 4th down. Slips it through. And of course, that sets it up to win it with a field goal. So there's no second guessing that move on Stoops' part. That was very sound. Timeout. 4:18 remaining. A 1-point game. Moreland to kick it off for the Sooners. Fielded at the 4-yard line by Cooper. Now to the 27, and Ja'Cory Harris with Mark Whipple, who was on the coaching staff a year ago of the Philadelphia Eagles with Andy Reid. They will make the decisions. Fake on a toss, wide open on that first play. Drops it off to Johnson. A well-schemed play. Dialed up by Whipple.
A call by Mark Whipple. We're assuming that they're going to run the football, so they show a little action to the right. Sets up an easy throw, so it's a high percentage throw coming back to Johnson. If he could have just stayed in bounds, it would have made that much more sense. But you got to love the aggressive call that time by Mark Whipple. But Johnson's got to stay in bounds.
You can see Donovan McNabb rolling out of that play, can't you?
Yeah.
3:40. Clock down and handing off. James breaks free, crosses midfield, spins 45, and he's down to the 39-40-yard line of the Sooners here with 3:20 to go.
With the Sooners attacking downhill with their linebackers, when you make it through the initial surge right there, there's already 8 jerseys up at the line of scrimmage. So if you're James, if you can make it through that initial surge right there, you've got room to run, and he made the Sooners pay for it right there. Nice job up front by the Canes.
You're welcome, the rest of you from the Pacific. Miami leading Oklahoma by a point, 21-20. Here is Jarvis James, the running back. 136 yards here tonight behind an offensive line that was widely criticized after last Saturday's loss up in Blacksburg at the hands of Virginia Tech. These guys were under fire all week long down here in South Florida. Fox, Franklin, Trump, Figueroa, and Pippo, they have done a fabulous job here tonight. Second down and 7, 2:49. Oklahoma desperately needing the ball back. And again, a steady dive, but this time the Sooners stop it. Reynolds, middle linebacker.
Sooners used their last timeout, making this 3rd and 6. The ball game here for Bob Stoops. They've got to come up with a stop here on this 3rd down.
21-20 now. Miami with a 1-point lead, 2.5 minutes.
Does Whipple run the football here to keep the clock moving, or does he get aggressive here, potentially trying to pick up this 1st down and throw with his young quarterback?
Play action, they're going to throw it. Got the 1st down. Epps coming off that tight end spot. When in doubt, go to the tight end, and Jacory says that's the play we wanted.
Nice job here. Again, the linebackers came up. They're expecting run. There's no way Miami's going to throw this. And Epps slips right behind the linebackers. Nice patience and poise once again from Jacory Harris. Sits in there with time to throw and finds his man Epps. Well, again, Epps doesn't have a lot of catches, but the catches he has made tonight have been significant for this offense.
Oklahoma out of timeouts. The idea here from Whipple is to keep it running. James breaks free to the 14-yard line.
After you give up a huge 3rd down, this Miami offense is feeling good, and the Oklahoma defense is down. And Miami attacks him here. Look at the blocking. We've talked all night about this offensive line. One of them, the helmet pops off. Jarvis James running like a madman tonight. 15 carries, 150 yards. I tell you, those first 4 games in August look pretty daunting. 2-2 look pretty good to me. They're going to sit here at 3-1. Wow.
Miami on the verge of a big upset over Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's last 3 games outside of Norman have not gone well. Here tonight. Then BYU on Dallas way to open this season. And of course last January right here the national championship. Tonight they were without their Heisman Trophy winner again for the 3rd straight week. Jacory Harris, Randy Shannon, and the Canes have done it. A huge win for the ACC as well.
Thing I wanted to see from Miami after their big start at 2-0, how would they respond after after what happened in Blacksburg. And I think they showed America that this Miami team is a very, very talented team.
Let's go down below now to Lisa.
Thanks, Brent. I'm with Ja'Cory Harris. Ja'Cory, the play of the game was that completion on that last drive, 3rd and 6. Describe the play for me and what happened.
Well, the play was just the basic play action. We knew that they was going to draw to the run, but we knew that we were going to have something coming behind them. So we just ran a simple drag with a play action, and it just came successful.
Now you started off the game with 2 interceptions on the first 2 possessions. What were you thinking after that?
Man, stuff happens. You come through, you got the jitters, but at the same time, my offense and, my defense stood behind me. Everybody patted me on my back and told me they know that's not me. And I just had to step it up and, make up on them.
Now, when did things start really clicking for you? When did things start really clicking for you?
When the offense really started getting behind me, everybody just came and gave me support, and I just said, man, around the second quarter, man, I got to do this. I got to be the one to step up and lead them.
Now, I see on the side of your head, it says you swag. What does that mean?
It's just you swag. I'm not trying to be too confident or arrogant, but that's something we got to bring back to the program.
All right, thanks, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Brent.
Lisa, they invented swagger. So against 4 ranked teams, they come out 3-1. A fabulous opening month by the Miami Hurricanes as we turn the page to November now. In the thick of things, and Ja'Cory Harris, one of the fine young quarterbacks in the country. Well, once again, our final score, 21-20. Miami beats back Oklahoma. Next Saturday, Herbie, you and I will be in Iowa City for Saturday Night Football on ABC. Michigan will take on Iowa. It's a Big Ten showdown at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, let's take it to Times Square now for the Ford wrap-up. Here is Matt Weiner.